As I said in a previous video, this Evolution Rage 3B does not fit on the Evolution Mitre Saw Stand. So I just wanted to make a very quick video to show you how to make a base so that you can fit it onto the stand and use the stand with this machine. And the machine and this stand together are a very useful combination. So if you don't have a mitre saw stand and you're thinking about getting one, the Evolution stand is just brilliant. It's £50, it's money well spent. It makes life so much easier when you're using a mitre saw, or a chop saw for that matter. And I think Evolution have come up with a winner. I really do, it's brilliant. But that's by the by. I'll show you the base, and literally it'll take you about half an hour to an hour to make it, depending on what equipment you've got in the workshop. It's a very simple base to make, so I'll just go through that right now. On the saw itself, there are two holes at the front, one there and one there. And then if I swing the saw around at the back, behind this support which needs removing to actually mount it on the mitre saw table, there are two more holes, one there and one there. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove this support. The next thing you need to do is to cut out a piece of plywood or MDF or anything you've got in the workshop to actually fit the saw onto. And all I did as far as that was concerned was place the saw on a piece of MDF and cut the width first. Then I decided how far apart I wanted the brackets to be, and I wanted them to be far enough away from the edges of the mitre saw so that there was no issue with anything touching anything. And I'll actually give you the dimensions of the piece of wood that I ended up with. So it's about 47 centimetres long, just a little bit less than that. And this is not, it doesn't really matter, but about 47 centimetres long and about 24 centimetres deep. The next thing I did was to mount the saw, or to just place the saw in the centre of the piece of wood and mark the four holes. That one, that one, that one, and the one on the other side there on the base. I drilled out the four holes, and the saw itself comes with several coach bolts with nuts and wing nuts and bits and bobs, but I actually use some of my own. If you don't have enough gear in the bag with the machine when it comes, you can pick up coach bolts, 6mm bolts from eBay for peanuts really. It's not going to cost you much to buy a few bolts to bolt it down if you don't have the equipment to do it at hand. But like I say, it does come with several bolts and nuts, and you should have enough there to work with, I would have said, to put the thing together. I worked out roughly where I wanted the brackets to go, and I literally went with the brackets being flush with the edge of the actual base itself. So I'll put it all together and you can see exactly what it looks like when it's put together. So that's the saw mounted to the actual base itself, and as you can see, it's kind of flush, just a slight overhang at the back with the base itself. So the base is just basically the width of the machine. The next thing to do is to attach the base to the brackets, and that's a fairly simple process as well. So that's the brackets just on loosely there, and or the clamps, and now I'm going to actually put it onto the mitre saw stand so that I can position everything. The next thing I did was to actually slide everything around to get the saw in the position that I wanted. So I actually sighted along this bar to make sure that the saw itself was parallel to the table, and then I moved these so that they were flush with the edge, just for aesthetics really. So that's everything squared off and tightened up. In order to secure it, you've just got to press these levers down to clamp the actual saw itself, and now that won't go anywhere. And that is a saw now mounted and ready to use on the saw stand. I really wished I'd bought one of these stands a long time ago. It makes life so much easier. That's it. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave any comments. Thank you very much for watching.